Hello everyone, it's Mary here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how you can improve Discover University with mods. I'm going to be showing you a list of my personal favorite mods and what mods actually improve this expansion pack. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first mod is called Shorter University Degrees, and basically you have to download just one file with the amount of classes that you want. So for example, I downloaded the one that says 8 classes, and now if I want to enroll my sim in a university, I don't need to have 12 classes to actually graduate from a specific course. So you can choose 4 classes, for example. So this is the maximum per semester, but now you don't have to do 3 semesters to complete university, but instead you can just do 2 semesters. I would say 8 is the sweet spot, because 4 is there's no point, because at this point just not go to university at all. It's too short. But 8 is like a sweet spot. You can also do uneven numbers, so for example 5 classes or 7, and obviously I will link all the mods down below. And yeah, so pretty much when you enroll in university, let's just say you want to enroll in psychology, you can choose 4 classes, 3 classes, so everything here doesn't change, and all you have to see is basically at the end it says that you must complete 8 classes to graduate instead of 12. Another one is no university housing restrictions, and as you know, Discover University is based off of American colleges and universities. College, university, the same thing. But for that reason, you're not allowed to have a stove or any appliances within your sim's housing, university housing, and this mod removes that. So now with no issues at all, you can place any oven, you can place any appliances, and you can actually not be restricted to go to that place with food and everything like that separate building, and you can actually have your breakfast inside your university housing. And I find it really helpful, because honestly at this point I was so tired, even with the mod that allows you to speed run to university and even faster walking mod. It still took such a long time with loading screens in between the different lots to actually have breakfast and do all of that morning routine that you want to do before class and before your classes start. So that one is super helpful. And like I said, when you go onto the university housing lot type, now you don't have this red section where every time when you place a forbidden object, it's gonna just highlight it in red. Now it's literally removed entirely. So obviously you have some requirements that you need to have in your university housing, but in that case, obviously we can have ovens and we can have other appliances. And how freaking wonderful is that? And now another mod that I found really useful, that's giving off this, I would say, private school / boarding school experience that you can use at university, but also outside of university. So for example, for high school years as well, if you want to build a boarding school. So it's the Auto Employees mod, and that one allows you to have, if you can see here, we have this Bon Appetit cafeteria, and it allows you to have an actual worker come in. Like you can see here, the worker is literally right here, and pretty sure when you go into the the live mode, the worker is going to be right here working and basically serving food. So you see here, you can just order food. Obviously you pay for the food, you can get water or add a little spice, so prank the food. And it's really easy, especially when you run late for class or you just can't be bothered to cook, and that gives off this really private school sort of vibe, and I find it really helpful. So that one is actually from Discover University, and that's why we don't have that many options. And what I've noticed while testing this mod out is when I place the one from high school years, not all the time the employee is gonna show up, and that's what was pissing me off a lot. And for rental properties, so if you have rent expansion pack, then it's not going to show up either. But for university housings, it does show up, and all you have to do is pretty much do the lot challenge. So you set the lot challenge and you either do employee slot owner, and what I always do to make sure that it's like an NPC character. It's employees slash professionals. So you see you have barista, bartender, entertainer, and more spawn on the lot if a bar, espresso bar, etc. are placed on the lot. So make sure every time when you want that type of employee to show up, it is under the lot challenge within your lot settings. Another mod is the sunrise alarm clock, and honestly it's one of my favorites. So it's gonna be obviously within the clocks category. All you have to do is just place it right above your bed, like right next to your bed, or literally anywhere else that you want. And then when you actually have it in your game, you can do sunrise, and then you can create an alarm, and it's going to be a specific time, career based. So for example, if you're starting out a career at a certain time, then that's when your sim is going to wake up, or sunrise based. So when the sunrise is actually happening within your game. I usually do the specific time, and you can see there are plenty of times that you can pick from. So let's just say it's 5 a.m. And then it's so specific that you can actually pick not just 5 a.m. but like 5:15, 5:25. And it literally shows for whom this specific alarm clock is going to be set for, and then what date. So for example, here we have from Monday to Friday, and like weekends as well, but you can also manage weekly schedules, and you can deselect all to ring every day, or you can select specific ones if you want it to be during the school times. And for example, now it's only going to be ringing from Monday to Friday, and it does work. Your sim actually wakes up, and it's super helpful because you don't have to think about waking your sim up, and it works autonomously for you. Next mod is pick your roommates or choose your roommates, and that one is very helpful, especially if you want to create that storyline where all of your friends group is going to university with you and you're staying at a specific university housing, whether it's private or if it's public. And all you got to do is click on the toolbox the mailbox, and you have this option of removing a roommate or choosing a roommate. And as you can see, we have NPC roommates, and you have to make sure that those people, like those sims, are not in any household. So they are literally homeless within the game. So that's when the game is going to read them as NPCs. And so basically, let's just say you have your best friends and you want to pick them as your roommates. All you got to do is basically make them homeless. So kick them out of the game and kick them out of any household that they are a part of right now, and they're going to show up right here. I didn't do this because I couldn't be bothered, but that's pretty much how it works. And you can obviously remove a roommate. So for example, we have roommates that are in this game right now, so in this university housing right now. So for example, we want to remove, let's just say, Shanice, because she's just weird. And now from now on, when you go onto the roommates, she's no longer there, and she's not going to be sleeping there, she's not going to be spawning there, and she's just non-existent within your university experience and your university career. So I find this mod really helpful, especially if you want to create those storylines around the characters. Another mod that I feel like is perfect for ideal university experience, and if you want to make it as realistic as possible, if you've been to college or university, you know what I'm talking about, and it's obviously the Basemental Drugs mod. And this one, especially with enhanced alcohol, is amazing because you can actually get drunk from alcohol. So if you play beer pong, as you can see, this one is already in progress, but if you play beer pong, you actually get drunk from it. And you can have extra things like buying cigarettes, having a cigarette, smoking, even doing some drugs on the side, even doing like smoking some weed, some pot. So, and I mean, come on, like this one is one of my favorites purely because it actually gives you off realistic hangovers, realistic, being wasted, being drunk. So, and it also gives you the stages when you drink alcohol. So for example, if it's, the first stage, so you're being tipsy, and then, so on and so forth, and you can actually get completely wasted and then have a hangover for the next day. And last but not least, aren't you also annoyed when your sim takes forever and ages to get to class, and then you're actually being late even though you left your house 3 hours early? Then this mod fixes this because it's faster university run, faster walk to class. And as you can see here, we have to get to class early, and I'm just gonna literally like ultra speed this, and even though without ultra speed she's still being fast. So that one is a very tiny mod but makes a huge difference. And alongside with this mod, what also works really well is faster homework, and that one works for high school years, that one works for university, and also for kids in elementary school. Because why do Sims take such a long time to first of all walk, to run, and to get to places, and on top of that to actually do their homework? I don't get it. I don't understand it. It pisses me off because even with UI cheats mod and ultra speed mod, you still take forever to get somewhere, girl. Like, come on. Let me know what do you think about this video. Let me know which mod you knew about, which one was new for you, and what mods you use for your university experience in The Sims 4 to enhance it and to make it even better. And thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one.